allowed me. Okay. She's allowed me to record. Wonderful. So we can go ahead and rub Mazel Tov for the chasana. It was so special.
What?
It was wonderful. A big Mazel Tov for the chasana.
The Sotah was wonderful.
It was
And
wonderful.
yesterday, last night, we had the Sheva Brochos, also beautiful. You said
Mazel
you had
tov,
to
Mazel
go
tov.
to another, you had another occasion,
We
nachon?
had the Blacks chasana. Their neighbors of ours. Their granddaughter got married.
Okay, as long as you're going for Simchas, it's good.
It's always good to go for Simchas, yeah.
I don't mind. Should we wait for Michael? What do you say, Ruben?
Yeah, I can phone him if you
Please phone him.
can phone.
Rob, while we're
He's
waiting,
normally a little late.
Rob, were you aware that there was a ballistic missile overhead during the chuppah? And it was intercepted.
I didn't hear.
We saw it. We actually saw the missile being intercepted.
I was told, but I didn't hear.
It was unbelievable, and it was so high up. It was like so right in the so high above. It was amazing. But you actually
I didn't see
missiles.
people running. I didn't see people
No.
running to shelter.
We didn't hear the siren, but it was amazing to see it.
Was no siren.
No, I didn't hear a siren.
Ah. Hi, it's John. John, how are you, John?
I'm well, thank you, Rabbi. I
Good.
can't walk, but
Okay, I'll tell the rabbi. Thanks, Michael. Take care.
Continue, be well.
Rabbi, Michael said he's going to join in a few minutes.
All right, so
You want to
let's
just do a recap?
start the introduction. We are in 24.
You got to repeat the last.
In the middle of the Mishnah.
You got to repeat the last few verses before Gemora.
Sotah.
Rav, you're not hearing.
The Gemora is 24.
Can you hear me?
In the middle of the Mishnah, we haven't yet finished the Mishnah. There is a last passage towards the end of the Mishnah, 24. A3 in the English, 24A3. The fourth, the third sentence from the top. The Mishnah concludes the circumstances in which the court, rather than the husband, issued the warning. You remember that what we were talking up to now, the Sotah, the woman, that she's been charged of having an affair with somebody else. The husband warns her to stop it. And there are other two witnesses coming and saying, no, she still was secluded with this man. Then it becomes now a case. Then the husband can take her to takes her to Yerushalayim, to the temple, and there is a whole process that he gives her to drink the water, which this will prove whether she is guilty or not, because she is not guilty, nothing will happen to her, even things will be for her better. If she couldn't have children, she'll have children, and so on and so on. On the other hand, if she is guilty, then it can cause her to die. But of course, the husband straight away will divorce her, because if she found to be guilty, then it means that she had an affair or a relationship with somebody else, and she's not allowed to continue with the husband. This is in short. And then the Mishnah was talking about certain different cases where she's entitled to get the ksuba if she doesn't drink, or she does drink, which will be further explain when we comes to the Gemora. At the moment, I just want to go with you in the last passage of the Mishnah, which I said in the fourth line from the top. Elu shebedin mekanin lahem. The following are the women whom the court warns. In other words, usually the husband is the one that gives her a warning not to be secluded with this person. But now we have cases when the husband is not able, for different reasons, to give the warning. So, says the Mishnah, the Beis Din will give the warning. What are the cases? One whose husband become deaf and mute, so he can't talk, so he can't give her a warning. Or nishtateh, he lost his mind. In English, I don't know, they say, or deranged.
Arranged, yeah.
This is a word that I never heard. Is that means that he went
mad.
Like crazy. He went like crazy. The range is Meshuggah. He went Meshuggah.
Okay. And then the next one, or he is in prison. In other words, he was was found guilty of what certain crime or whatever, and he's in prison. So if he's in prison, he can't warn, he can't talk to his wife. And so all these cases, we say in the process, the first Sotah, if she is charged to have an affair, the husband has to warn, and afterwards, the next stage, to give her to drink the water in the temple. So here, there is no warning, because the people are unable to do the warning. And so far, the Mishnah says the Beis Din will do the warning as delegates of the husband. They will warn her, listen, there is a suspicion that you have a relationship with other men, and then this, what will be then? The Mishnah said, but they warn her, but they didn't say that the court's warning is effective with regard to giving her to drink. On the basis of the warning by the Beis Din, this is not sufficient to make her to drink, because it has to come from the husband, but it is valid, only disqualify her from collecting her ksuba. This is what one opinion. But Rabbi Yossi says there is still a possibility to make her to drink the water. How? He's not around, or he's not able. So the Gemora, especially I'm talking about the one that is in prison. So they say the warning is effective to give her to drink the water when her husband comes out of prison, when he'll be free, he will then be able to give her to drink the water. So this is, the Mishnah was listed all different situations, and now we'll continue with the Gemora. The first law in the Mishnah was talking about a woman that she is engaged. But again, remember, in the old time, I'll repeat again, in the old time, there were two stages in marriage. The first stage was that the chosen says to the bride, giving her a ring, he said, "Mekudeshet, you will be dedicated to me, whatever," but they are still not going to live together. There is still what does it mean? It means that she cannot have any relationship with any other person, also not with her husband. This is, like I would say, a trial case. And after a couple of months, they will go under the chuppah, and this will be to complete the marriage. The period before they go to the chuppah, she is called arusa. Arusa, the best English translation, I think, is to be that she is dedicated to him, but not fully, so therefore they don't live together yet. So therefore, she neither drinks the water nor collects her ksube. The second case is Yevama. Yevama is a woman that was married to a guy. The guy died childless. Then the Torah says that the brother-in-law, the deceased person's brother, has to actually marry her. But before he does so, they called is a stage that maker is called Shomeret Yavam, which is she is like waiting for the Yavam, for the brother-in-law to complete this connection. So now the Mishnah said these two women, the Arusa, the one who was engaged but not married yet, and the Ivama, that she's still waiting to be taken fully by the brother-in-law. The Mishnah implies that is only drinking the water that she does not do. Until she is completely married, she does drink the water, she does not. However, kinui maknela, but her husband means the man that has to marry her is not his husband yet. He can warn her. His warning is effective in that she disobeys, that if she disobeys, not to be secluded, she becomes prohibited to him, to the person that has to finish a marriage. 1 second, here's the telephone. 1 second, excuse me.
How are you keeping?
Not badly. Not badly. How do you?
John, it's good to see you. Good.
Shem, my life.
Okay,
Avishai
right back.
he didn't phone from home? Well, I couldn't answer. Tell him not to phone me because I'm in the middle of a Zoom. Thank you. Sorry. Apologies. Okay. So this is the first point where the Gemora wants to discuss what is a source, from where do we know this ruling that these two women, which let us say half married, not completely, they can be warned by the future husband, but yet not drinking the water. Says the Gemora, נתנו רבנן, the rabbis taught in a Braita, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת, the verse that prefaces the Sotah passage, speak to the children of Israel and you shall say to them, serve, there is a quotation, but the fact they say to them, the Gemara learns it comes to serve to include this arusa, remember the arusa, the one that engaged, and a woman awaiting in Yavam under the law of Sotah's warning. That is, if an arus, when they making, say, the husband to be warned is arusa or a Yavamam, if he warned the woman, this warning is effective. So the Gemara finds a text from which to teach us that in spite of the fact they are not completely married, but they can warn her not to be seen or secluded with another person. Now the Gemara says that this statement of the Mishnah seems to be depends on different of opinion of the Tanaim. Who is our Mishnah following when it rules that a Yevama does not drink the water? Said the Gemara, it's Rabbi Yonatan, following Rabbi Yonatan. Because we learn in the Braita, taught us in the Braita, that when in the text it says she has been seen, if the Torah says, there is a full verse, 1 minute. No, that's not the right place. It said, ואמרת עליהם, you shall say to them, which apparently is redundant. So from this, the Gemara learn that the Torah states, under your husband's jurisdiction. When she's warned if you had an affair under the husband's jurisdiction, to exclude Arusa, who is not fully under the jurisdiction of her husband. This verse teaches us that an Arusa does not drink the bitter water. So this point about the Arusa, about this woman, that she's engaged to the man, but not yet married. Now the Gemara continues. It could now be taught that I should also exclude a woman waiting her Yavam, the sister-in-law that she is waiting to become completely married to her brother-in-law. The Gemara says no. Talmud Lomar Ish. The Torah therefore states any man to include a woman waiting her Yavam. So this is one opinion, Rabbi Oshaya, that the word of Rabbi Oshaya, that it also applies to this יבמה, דברי רב הושעיה. However, רבי יונתן אומר, רבי יונתן, he says, תחת אישך, in the same text which we excluded the arusa, which is said the Torah say under your husband, so this comes also to exclude Shomeret Yavam, the Yavama, which is awaiting to have the Yibum, but it's not yet happened. So exclusion of women, I changed now the page to the second page, the turn over the page, Waitaker Yavam. It could be thought that I should exclude only women waiting the Yavam, and I should not exclude Arusa. Like Gemora said, maybe this text, which it says under your husband, refers only to the Yavam, not to the one Arusa. So the Gemora, Talmud Amar, we learn from the Pasuk, Asher tistei isha tachat isha, which means a woman shall stay from under husband. So here the Torah says husband, prat la'arusa, the exclusion of an arus, because she's not yet under husband, as we said, she's only engaged to him, but she is not married to him. So we have got here this agreement between Rabbi Yonatan and Rabbi Yoshia. Rabbi Yoshia says that only Arusa is excluded, not the Yevama. Rabbi Yonatan says that also the Yevama. Now Gemora gets a little bit to explain the opinions of these two. One, Rabbi Yonatan accords primacy to an Arusa. He judges the marital bond between the Arusa and the Arus, the woman and her husband who become to be a husband. He learns the Torah here means that stronger than the one between the Yavama and the Yavam. So therefore, he includes that the warning from the Arus, which is this, let's say, the half husband, is Arus.
Rav, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit confused between what's going on here. Because if Rabbi Yonatan said, while under her husband, does that exclude the Yavam, or not to drink the bitter waters?
No, so as I said,
Or does it exclude, or does it not exclude the Arusa, the woman who's betrothed? Which one does it come to exclude?
Yeah, so
what does Rabbi Yonatan exclude? Does he exclude one, or does he exclude both of them?
He says, talking about this woman, she is warned for being naughty under the husband. Now the question is, the text, the words under the husband, what is this excluding? Is it excluding the case of Arusa or Yevama?
Right.
So the Gemora brings, according to Rabbi Yonatan, he says the relationship between the Arusa and her future husband is stronger than the case of Yevamah and the Yavam. Why? Because remember what Arusa is, I said, a person already, let's say now, he gives a ring to this woman, and he say, "Areat mekudeshet li," which is in our time, I said, we call this betrothal, kiddushin, but is not yet finality a marriage. So therefore, I say this status of this woman after that she's an act of betrothal, which established the bond, so much so, if she committed adultery, as long as she is not yet completely married, she only in the stage of arusa, she is stoned because of him. In order to this, in this stage, she is still considered as committing adultery, even she is not completely married yet. However, the case of the Yevamah, it's not as strong as the relationship between the Arusa and the Arus, and therefore, according to the opinion of Rabbi Yonatan, he says he does not include the case of Yevamah and Yavam, only the case of Arus and Arusa. On the other hand, Rabbi Yoshia, that he said that even Yavam and Yevamah is already also considered kind of a marriage which it's that if she unfaithful and she will be warned. So he says, Rabbi Yoshia, he accords parmesi to women awaiting her Yavam. He said this is stronger relationship than the Arus and Arusa. In which way? Because in order to be fully married, she doesn't lack the process of being submitted to the chuppah. Unlike the one with Arus and Arusa, they, as I said, they are in one stage, but they are not completely married. When they will be married, the chuppah. In the Yavam and Yevamah, the connection, according to Rabbi Yoshia, is stronger because there is no another process of a chuppah. He takes her and takes and have a sexual relationship without a chuppah. This is already made him completely married. So the Gemora here explained in the text why, according to one, the relationship between Arus and Arusa is strong, like in a case of Arus and Arusa, both agree that it is strong and that it can warn her. But in the case of Yavam and Yevamah, this is a machloket, a disagreement between Rabbi Natan and Rabbi Yoshia. One says the Yavam and Yevamah is not considered to be as complete kind of a marriage to be able to warn her. And the other one says yes. And they are both of them based on the text in the Torah. Rabbi Yonatan, here the Gemora comes to see how they made the text, each of them to his opinion. Rabbi
Rav,
Yonatan,
We've got
what
6
is-
minutes, about 6.5 minutes left.
sorry?
We've only got 6.5 minutes left.
Half
Six,
a minute
six
left?
and a half minutes. Around 6
6
minutes.
minutes,
6 minutes. It's
I
going to
thought
end in
that
6 minutes.
anyhow,
Rav?
let's see
Rav?
if let's see until it be finished, okay?
Okay.
Because I think I was told Feli, she organized
No, it's
this.
not
She
from your
said
side,
that
it's from
the
our
40
side.
minutes.
It's from our side.
From
man.
our side,
From
it'll
our
switch
side.
off automatically after 40 minutes.
We've got 6 minutes left.
Okay, so let us say you can, if it will stop, you can perhaps follow. It is another the continuation of the discussion between Rabbi Yoshea and Rabbi Yonatan. What makes to be a stronger relationship to be able to warn? Is it the Arus and Arusa or Yavam and Yavama? Okay, so this is now afterwards a discussion which based how to learn from the words of the Torah, and this is just what comes afterwards. The Gemora says somebody learns from words, and the question, what the other doing with these words if he doesn't learn from the same. So this is more a question on how to understand things in the text. For our purpose, just we should remember this, that there is a disagreement whether the Arusa, we say, is a stronger relationship like husband and wife, but Yavam and Yavama not. The other one said, no, Yavam and Yavama is as strong like was like be a complete marriage. This is what the continuation of the discussion, which and if we go and the Gemora should ask each of them, how do they understand the text if they disagree with the other person? So if we can still continue.
Rav, it's going to go off any minute.
How many minutes?
It's going
3
to go off
minutes.
now.
We've got three
Going off now.
3 minutes.
2 minutes. So I like to then, as I say, important is now not to learn the text, just to remember this dispute, Yavam and Yavama, and Arus and Arusa, which the Mishnah says that both of them can warn, and it seems to be there is a machloket, and this agreement between Rabbi Yoshia and Rabbi Yonatan. This is really the main thing, and each of them has got a basis how to get to derive it from the text of the Torah. I think for this should be sufficient for today. If you just want to continue to finish, you've got the English translation, and you can yourself to follow it up. Just to bear in mind, this is really now, the Gemara tries to explain the reasons of each of them, how they derive from the text. Each of them is opinion. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Rav.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Rabbi.
Thank
Thank you, Rav. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
be
Shalom,
safe.
Shabbat Shabbos, everyone.
And Mazel Tov for the Chasana.
Thank you very much.
Mazel tov.
Thank you, Leslie, that you were at the wedding.
Oh, it
We
was
had
such a
very
split to
good
be
wedding.
there, Rav.
Remember, guys, last Tuesday we didn't have a shiur because we had a wedding of my grandson, Chavaita's son. So it was, Leslie was present there. You can tell it was very nice.
It was amazing. Rafi Barnett and who else was there? Yeah, it was very special.
Very good. Simchas.
We should only have simches and good news.
Amen.
And Ellen
And the
Whitcliffe.
main thing,
Ellen was there as well.
to be healthy.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Rabbi.
Amen.
Have a good
Thank you for the
Shabbos.
share. Thank you for the share. Thank you, Rabbi.
Have a good
Shabbat
Shabbos.
Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good
Shabbos, everyone.